And I'm Justin.
And together, we are Pajamas. And the day has come. Finally, the day has come. We are starting episode 1 of season 2 of Doctor Who. To all the people who have been waiting, thank you for your patience. We really appreciate it. So without further ado, no more waiting for you or for us. Let's start our trek through season 2 of Doctor Who, starting right now. Are you ready?
Yes.
You excited?
Yes, it's the cute one.
The cute doctor.
Yes.
Yes. So let's get some eye candy right now. He's got his Converse on, his little suit. So cute.
Love you.
Bye.
She's never going to choose you. Any thoughts so far?
I'm actually wondering if the Bad Wolf thing will continue further into the series.
I made my feelings known on it last season.
She's pure blood human. Closer. Closer.
Oh, we got the little clank things again.
Rose, Tyler. I knew it. That dirty blonde assassin. She's coming here, mistress.
She's back. Oh, it's back. I don't know. I don't know.
The human race moves on, but so do the viruses. It's an ongoing war.
They're cats. Now, don't stare. Think what you look like to them, all pink and yellow.
I like how the makeup looks way better than the movie Cats.
Disinfection.
This way, Rose Tyler.
Smart. Short from, how do you know my name? To just like, screw it. Scrap weapon.
That's petrified regression, right?
I'm dying, sir. A lifetime of charity and abstinence.
It's rather unusual to visit without knowing the patient.
No. I think I found him.
Peekaboo!
Don't you come anywhere near me, Cassandra.
Why? What do you think I'm going to do? Flap you to death?
How comes you're still alive?
The brain of my mistress survived. And her pretty blue eyes.
This piece is the back.
Right, so you're talking out your...
Ask not.
You must be joking if you think I'm coming anywhere near you.
Chip, activate the psycho.
Let me see! God, I'm a champ! It said he'll talk to a wanderer, to the man without a home. The lonely god.
Curves? Oh, baby. It's like living inside a bouncy castle. The same doctor with a new face. That hypocrite.
Old Earth cockney.
Watcher?
Where have you been? How long does it take to get to Ward 26?
I'm on my way, Governor. I shall proceed up the apples and pears.
Never get.
None you just.
Still got it. No, nothing old. Surgery.
It would make sense that she'd want human contact, like, after being a trampoline for so long.
What disease is that?
All of them. Every single disease in the galaxy, they've been infected with everything.
Healthy and happy because of us.
If they live because of this, then life is worthless.
The last human.
Cassandra.
Wake up and smell the perfume.
Just let Rose go, Cassandra.
I will. As soon as I find someone younger and less common. Then I'll go through the waste. Now hush a bye.
Uh-oh.
Give her back to me.
You asked for it.
Right. This is different.
Cassandra?
Goodness me, I'm a man.
So many parts.
I've been inside your head. You've been looking. You like it.
Oh, chavtastic again. I'm in it.
Not till you get out of her.
No matter how difficult the situation, there is no need to shout.
Cassandra, get out of it! Did you kill them? All of them?
No.
Taken into care. All visitors to the hospital will be required to make a statement to the NNYPD.
Oh, I hate telepathy. Just what I need, a head full of big face. And not just that, a volunteer.
Don't you dare. He's got a life of his own.
But I worship the mistress. No, I just wanted to say, you look beautiful.
Well, that's very kind, you strange little thing.
That was an interesting episode.
They redeemed Cassandra as a character. I like that.
And also very interesting moral implications on having all the people
Yes.
being used as a cattle, but they were seen as not worthy of... There's a correlation between what they were showing and other things in our current world.
Yes. Such as experimentation, which to this day is still being done. For the good of mankind, it is said.
So it was a very interesting, just ethical and, philosophical point of view.
Yes, with one question being whether or not they were necessarily doing anything bad, per se.
Mhm.
Or if it actually was good. Illegal, though, which is why technically, yes, they were arrested. Whether or not it was good or bad, still nevertheless illegal. So,
Right.
So to show that, yes, they will take responsibility for what they've done, they'll be, in a way, martyrs for their cause.
Yeah.
But without execution, assumably.
What do you think? Do you think they were in the right?
Well, until that time, up until this episode, this day, they thought that they didn't have any sort of actual mental cognizance.
Right, yeah.
So, for example, it would be like today, for example, when pieces of human tissue are experimented on. Yes, it's human tissue, but it's human tissue without a brain.
Right.
Thus, they can do what they like with it. And also, even plants.
Well, I think it's very similar to how people see cows and pigs as different than dogs and cats. Like, they have the same brain, the same cognitive abilities, the same intellect. They're all equally intelligent creatures in their own way. But one are seen as things. One are seen as one has an identity, one doesn't.
Yes.
That's why it's called livestock. It's stock, that kind of thing. So this was their livestock. They were not equal to humans, just like certain animals aren't equal to other animals. Like, if that makes sense.
Much like, for example, today there are lab rats that are experimented on, and it's for the sake of human medical purposes. Pharmacology and things like that.
Right.
Although it does actually bring up a very interesting question. If it's for people, then why is it that it's being experimented on a rat instead of a human? And well, with this episode, well, yes, they couldn't agree more. And actually, yes, there are some things that may work or not work for rats that could have an opposite effect on humans. And with this, they actually take that factor out. And it's much more likely that if this will work for the subject, it will work for the patient.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting. Like, on one hand, with my own belief structure and my own ethical stance on many things, I don't agree with what they were doing, but I also understand why they were doing what they were doing. So there's a certain, duality there. Whereas with nowadays, like with how I feel about things, like I don't agree with what's going on and I don't understand why it's going on. But it's like the cat people had the same views as modern day society in that this is you have worth, but you do not. You are pets, but you are food. It's a very strange, like, and it's kind of like that. Like you are a patient, you are the subjects.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting. It's just like, I'm not trying to go into like, preachy thing. I'm not like that. I just think the correlation between those two things is very interesting, and the cognitive dissonance that's needed to disconnect from that. It's on a similar level.
It also is a portrayal of the debate of which is more important when doing something, the means or the ends, which is what this episode was mainly about. That ultimately which matters the most, the results or the way in which you get said results.
Yeah, because now those people are free and rid of those diseases, but then what about people in New York who now get diseases? They are now essentially under a death sentence. So, like the guy who was turning to stone, people get that, you're screwed. You will turn to stone.
And the progress of medicine is now slowed down because now there is, well, assumably in this time, if they're more advanced than today, they probably have computer simulation. So to an extent, it will still progress, but not at the quick pace that it was before this happened.
Well, yeah, they were like 1,000 years ahead of their time.
Yes.
Which is interesting, because it's like using unethical means of doing it put them so far ahead that even the doctor was like, wait a minute, this stuff isn't cured for like over 1,000 years from now. But they found a way to warp speed through medicine and cure and stuff and arrive at, solutions to sickness and ailments that they shouldn't have. So it's very interesting to think about. As you were saying, the means and then the end. So one can see how the means just justify the end. But at the same time, the means are they're essentially their own homegrown lab rats.
Yes.
So,
which until recently they realized even had thoughts of their own. They, at the time, thought that they were simply shells.
Yeah.
To which I would say, well, because of how it would look to the public, yes, of course they would still keep it a secret, even if they knew perfectly well, at least assumably knew, that it is for the good and they're not necessarily hurting anyone.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Something, yes, but someone.
Yeah. Well, it's. I'm going to correlate it one more time. It's the same way that people will think a dog and a cat has its own little personality. When it comes to a cow or a pig, it's just a meat sack.
Well, yes, the Cartesian philosophy, in which it was actually once thought that animals don't actually have feelings or things like that, that they only react.
Right.
Like a machine would.
Yeah.
Whereas nowadays, we now know from animal psychology, actually, yes. And from neuroscience, yes, they actually do have thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, it applies to all animals. Like all animals have the same thoughts, feelings, emotions, social structure, like family ties, like, family bonds.
Some more developed than others, though.
I'm not saying it's exactly the same, like how, that's like saying every person feels things the same way. No, but we all have the capacity to feel those things, is what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying the same feelings. It's the same pool.
Well, yes.
That they can be.
Even with the distance in evolution, that how our societies, how we have developed and how we do things, it is beyond the capacity of some other things. But at the same time, there are things that they are still able to have that we also have, and thus from that relate to them.
Yeah. So it's just interesting to correlate it not only to like an ethical, medical, because it was like that was the obvious, but then for me personally with my own ethics, to correlate it to how people see life forms on this planet as well. Huge props to Billie Piper, Rose, for being Cassandra. She did a really good job. Like a really, really good job.
Oh, yes.
The doctor was adorable, per usual. And, I can't give Billie Piper enough credit there for her portrayal.
Yes, she did it very well.
Also, if I sound weird or any weird sounds, I apologize. This is a leftover remnant from having COVID, which is why we couldn't film for so long. I have glandular issues underneath right here. Under my, it's affecting under my tongue and stuff. So I'm trying to talk, but it's also very uncomfortable. So, but I don't want to put it off any longer. And I feel fine other than whatever this is. So hopefully it's not anything permanent. But since COVID, we watched a medical thing. Let's make it a medical discussion since new COVID is new and we don't know the long-term ramifications of it. I'm hoping this is just temporary. It just feels very bizarre. So I hope I'm not sounding odd or making gross noises. I'm trying not to, but it's very uncomfortable. But I still want to, obviously watch this and discuss it. So I just want to throw that out there. If I was watching it like, what's going on? Or if I'm making weird faces or drinking a lot of water. Yeah, that's why. So back to the subject at hand. So yes, Billie Piper did awesome as Cassandra. It's cool to see Cassandra back. Mm-hmm. Made sense why she was back. The cat makeup was really well done. I even said during the episode that it was better makeup than the movie Cats.
It was very extraordinary. They really looked like they were talking heads of cats.
Yeah, I did it really like the CGI again. But I said back in episode 1 of season 1 that I was not going to judge the CGI. This is
yes, because you have to take into consideration the copyright year of when this was made.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're in 2006 now. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that doesn't bother me. But I was like really really impressed with the cat makeup. Really well done. Interesting that they were like cat nuns as well. And I like the whole look, like the upturned nun, and like they had the white sheet thing over their face. I thought it was really a really cool look.
It really helped to have the roles switched between animal and human on
which also
medical ethics.
Like if you could also correlate it to what I was talking about. Yes. Like it's very. Like, it's not coming out of left field. Trust me, it's not. Yeah, I thought it was very interesting. And the one cat that was being led away kept looking back at the doctor. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see them, or her, in a future episode. I don't think we're done here yet. If season 1 taught us anything, it's like we rarely leave stuff like that a loose end. It's tied up in some way.
Did you also recognize that the giant head was in a previous episode?
Yeah, they discussed it. Once again, the series is tackling ethical and morality and...
Oh, yes. It's pretty much agreed upon do not cause undue harm to another. And, well, then what counts as undue and what counts as due, then all of a sudden, then there will be some differences, such as the ends, or do the ends justify the means, or the ends justify the means. Maybe neither. Maybe both.
And, harm doesn't really count as harm if you disassociate yourself with the thing that you're harming.
It's much easier to do that when you disassociate with a subject.
Yeah, exactly.
Hence why a different species, or how, for example, with human experimentation, consider this other human subject to be subhuman.
Mm-hmm. Although, I don't know why Cassandra just didn't re-enter her own body and do it all over again. Cassandra had, an entire party full of people to take over there at the end.
Yes.
Including her own physical form. Just interesting, I thought.
It actually also would have opened a possibility for yet another episode with her, because she would have entered her and would have had all of those memories.
Yeah.
Knowing, she will now know not to do this, but to do that. And when in this situation, make sure to alter that, and we could then end up with another episode, because the Doctor will have to go back somewhere, because there is now a serious shift because of that incident.
Yeah.
Once again, leading to him being the cause of all of these problems, instead of leaving them alone.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of life left in... Well, pun. Life left in Cassandra as a character. But overall, good. Just great job. Great job by Billie Piper. She was Cassandra. She did so good. But just like how she kept calling Rose Chav. I thought that was so funny.
I did notice that.
Like she ran her body, she's like, oh, great, Chav-tastic. I was like, that's so awesome. Just for her to call Rose a chav. Which is funny because in season 1, when I was giving out about Rose so much, people were kind of saying that. Like, you have to remember, she's this kind of person in British society. And, being an American, we have our own social hierarchy. So, a chav is seen as.
Yes.
So it was just funny for her to call her that, and then...
At least she liked her curves.
I mean, it had to been nice being in 3 dimensions. So.
Oh, yes, indeed. It was probably... Actually, it was seen how extremely ecstatic she was that she now had an actual body that is much more than simply a flat screen, 2-dimensional, and it's now 3-dimensional. She can now actually walk. She can hold things. She can embrace and kiss the doctor.
She could put things in her tits.
Yes, she can also do that. She actually has them.
Exactly, yeah. So overall, yeah, I like the episode. I thought it was very, very interesting. Very, very interesting on many different levels. It wasn't just, the episode itself was 3-dimensional. It wasn't just a 2-dimensional thing. It was tackled very intriguing ideas and philosophies. And yeah, I have to respect that.
We've also now found out something interesting. In the other episode, she said, remember when she said, when I was a boy?
Yeah.
And here we see her in human form. She is a woman, which could be actually that she could be a transgender character.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, I didn't think of that, yeah.
Giving her even much more of a, no pun intended, giving her more dimension to her character.
Yeah. To another pun, it fleshes out her character.
Yes.
We're full from today. I feel like there's something else I want to say, but I think that's everything. Rose was awesome. I like the idea, I like the concept, I like the execution. It was written well. The doctor was adorable. So freaking adorable. And I think that's about it. Anything else you would like to add about the episode? Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
Good. So with that, we're going to wrap this one up. As always, I don't have a fancy outro, so I'll simply say thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one when we get to episode 2. Until then, goodbye.
Goodbye.